Mark McGwire, often referred to as Big Mac, forever altered the landscape of America's pastime. In 1998, McGwire and Sammy Sosa's thrilling pursuit of home run history captivated fans around the globe. The spotlight followed this duo every night during this storybook season that included numerous tape measure shots. Mark's compact swing, brute strength, and timely hitting allowed him to break a hallowed record. Before attaining legendary status, he and Jose Canseco formed the iconic Bash Brothers tandem with the Oakland Athletics. Unfortunately, McGwire's legacy was tarnished by steroid use, casting a shadow over his achievements. Once a surefire Hall of Famer, gatekeeping voters have delayed his entrance into Cooperstown. Thank you to everyone for the suggestions, and make sure to leave a comment on who you want to see next. As always, if you enjoy, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at cam23_YT and hit the bell to enable all notifications so you don't miss any future Cam23 videos. Mark David McGwire was born on October 1st, 1963 in Pomona, California, to parents John and Ginger. Growing up in a sports-oriented family, one of his four brothers, Jay, pursued competitive bodybuilding, while another, Dan, played as an NFL quarterback for the Seahawks and Dolphins. Mark was a power hitter from a young age, slugging a home run in his first Little League at-bat. As a high school pitcher, McGwire was drafted by the Montreal Expos in the 8th round of the 1981 MLB Draft. He declined, choosing to attend the University of Southern California. One of his teammates there was future Hall of Famer Randy Johnson. USC's baseball coach, Rod Dedeaux, shifted Mark to first base, believing in his potential as a hitter. In 1984, his third and final year, McGwire batted .387, belting 32 homers and driving in 80 runs. He then suited up for the United States national baseball team, who finished runner-up to Japan in the Olympics. In the MLB Draft, the Oakland Athletics selected him 10th overall in the first round. In 1986, Mark batted .312 with 23 homers and 112 RBIs between AA and AAA, earning a call-up to the big league team. On August 22nd, McGwire made his MLB debut. In his first 18 games, he struggled, batting just .189 with 3 home runs, and had defensive challenges at third base, committing 6 errors. In 1987, an alleged juiced ball led to a significant increase in power numbers league-wide. McGwire's move back to first base marked a turning point in his rookie season. In May, he broke out, launching 15 homers and driving in 24 runs. On June 27th and 28th, McGwire tied a 2-game record by homering 5 times and scoring 9 runs. Hitting 33 home runs in the first half warranted Mark's first home run derby and an All-Star Game appearance as a reserve. The festivities were held at his home park, the Coliseum. On August 14th, Mark set a new MLB rookie record with his 39th home run, surpassing Frank Robinson and Wally Berger, who were tied with 38. McGwire's milestone stood for 30 years until Aaron Judge hit 52 dingers in 2017. For the year, Mark batted .289, collecting 49 home runs, 118 RBIs, a .618 slugging percentage, and a .164 OPS+, meaning he was 64% better than league average. He led MLB in slugging percentage, an 11.4 at-bat to home run ratio, and shared the lead in home runs with Andre Dawson. McGwire received a 6th-place finish in AL MVP voting and was named Rookie of the Year, becoming only the second unanimous winner after Carlton Fisk in 1972. Mark McGwire and his teammate Jose Canseco formed a dynamic duo called the Bash Brothers. This nickname originated from a home run celebration that involved bashing their forearms together, something they did a combined 74 times during 1988. In July, McGwire and Canseco were starters at the All-Star Game. Mark closed the regular season with a .260 average, 32 home runs, 99 RBIs, and a .134 OPS+. In the AL, he ranked 8th in RBIs and 3rd in homers. McGwire would later receive MVP votes. Oakland finished with the best record in baseball, claiming the AL West to face the Red Sox in the championship series. Mark chimed in with a home run in a 3-hit night during Game 3. Oakland pulled off a 4-game sweep, advancing to the World Series. McGwire's only hit against the Dodgers was a walk-off home run in Game 3 to give the Athletics their lone win of the series. In heartbreaking fashion, the A's fell in 5 games. In 1989, Mark extended his All-Star streak with another gig as the American League's starting first baseman. McGwire finished the year with 33 homers, 95 RBIs, and a 129 OPS+. He led the league with a home run every 14.8 at-bats, later receiving MVP votes. The A's had the best record and matched up with the Toronto Blue Jays in the ALCS. In Game 1, McGwire hit a game-tying dinger in the 6th inning, and in Game 2 contributed 3 hits and an RBI. Oakland took the set in 5 games, giving them another shot at a ring. In the World Series against the San Francisco Giants, the Athletics never trailed on the scoreboard, sweeping the Fall Classic to secure their 9th title in franchise history. McGwire recorded at least 1 hit in 7 of 9 postseason games, including 2 3-hit games. In 1990, McGwire made the All-Star team for the 4th time. He closed the season with 39 home runs, 108 RBIs, and a 144 OPS+. An MLB best 110 walks yielded a 370 on-base percentage, despite his 235 average. The A's once again clinched the best record and faced the Red Sox in the ALCS. After sweeping their way to a 3rd consecutive World Series appearance, the A's were given a taste of their own medicine, losing 4 straight to the Cincinnati Reds. Shortly after, McGwire received MVP votes and a Gold Glove for his stellar fielding. Notably, from 1985 to 1994, this was the only year Don Mattingly did not win the award. Mark led all first basemen with 12 total zone runs, a metric that rates the number of runs above or below average a player is worth, based on the number of opportunities. In 1,429 chances, he made just 5 errors and registered a .997 fielding percentage. In 1991, while he was an All-Star for the 5th year in a row, McGwire suffered through a season-long slump. Mark hovered around the Mendoza line, ending the year with a .201 average, 22 home runs, and 75 RBIs. In April of 1992, McGwire rebounded, batting .333 and blasting off for 10 big flies. On June 10th, he smoked career home run number 200. Only 4 players reached that plateau faster: Ralph Kiner, Babe Ruth, Harmon, Killebrew, and Eddie Mathews. McGwire was named the Home Run Derby champ after crushing 12 long balls to outslug Ken Griffey Jr., a titan of the event. He extended his All-Star game streak to 6 consecutive. During the Midsummer Classic, McGwire got the hitting barrage started with a 2-run single in the American League's 13-6 victory. Unfortunately, a strained ribcage in August sidelined Mark for 20 games, disrupting his bid to maintain the Major League lead in home runs. Juan Gonzalez narrowly edged out McGwire with 43 dingers. In 139 games, Mark was superb on offense, boasting a .268 average, .385 on-base percentage, 42 homers, 104 RBIs, and 6.5 WAR. He led the league with an 11.1 at-bat-to-home run ratio, a .585 slugging percentage, and a .176 OPS+. The A's captured their 4th AL West Division title in 5 years. In Game 1 of the ALCS against the Blue Jays, McGwire drilled a 2-run bomb, and Oakland won 4-3. The A's proceeded to lose 4 of the next 5 games, their first championship series defeat with McGwire. Mark was acknowledged with his first Silver Slugger and finished 4th in AL MVP voting, with teammate Dennis Eckersley receiving the honor. Between 1993 and 1994, McGwire played just 74 games while his left heel required multiple surgeries. When healthy, he posted a .283 average, 18 homers, and 49 RBIs. The 94-player strike shortened the 1995 campaign to 144 games. A sprained toe and sore lower back resulted in more stints on the injured list, but McGwire remained potent offensively. In May, Mark assembled an 18-game hitting streak and hit 5 homers in a 2-game stretch in June, joining Ralph Kiner as the only players to accomplish this twice. On June 30th, Mark capped a strong month with a 2-out walk-off grand slam against Hall of Fame closer Lee Smith. McGwire earned his 7th All-Star nod and concluded the year with a .441 on-base percentage, 90 RBIs, a 200 OPS+, and 5.5 WAR. Mark's 39 home runs are the most by a player with fewer than 350 at-bats in a single season. McGwire garnered MVP votes, and had he played enough to qualify, a home run every 8.1 at-bats would have led MLB by a wide margin. In 1996, Mark sustained a foot injury that delayed his season, but upon returning in late April, reached base safely in 48 consecutive games. In June, he racked up 14 home runs, one shy of the AL record for that month, receiving Player of the Month honors. On July 2nd, McGwire hit his 303rd home run, surpassing Jimmie Foxx to become the Athletics home run king. Mark was an all-star for the 8th time and hit home runs in 4 consecutive July games, including a 470-foot moonshot at New Comiskey Park and a 488-foot tank at Toronto Skydome. McGwire mashed an MLB best 52 home runs, the most in a single season since George Foster hit 52 in 1977. He became the fastest to 40 and 50 home runs by measure of at-bats, breaking Babe Ruth's records. Mark was the 13th player to hit the 50-homer benchmark, but the only one to achieve it in fewer than 140 games. McGwire batted a career-high .312, drove in 113, and scored 104 runs. He also led baseball in on-base, slugging, OPS, and OPS+. McGwire placed 7th in AL MVP voting and took home his 2nd Silver Slugger. On April 20th, 1997, McGwire uncorked a mammoth 514-foot home run that cleared the left field roof at Tiger Stadium. On June 24th, facing his college teammate Randy Johnson, McGwire belted an astonishing 538-foot dinger that landed in the upper deck of the Seattle Kingdome, one of the longest in the park's history. In July, he was an all-star for the 9th time. Before Mark hit free agency at season's end, Oakland traded him to the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for 3 players. His 363 home runs with the Athletics still stands as a franchise record. Suiting up with the Cardinals, McGwire went deep once every 7.3 at-bats, tallying 24 home runs in 51 games. He became the first player to hit 20 home runs with 2 different teams in the same season. During his Player of the Month September, the Cardinals locked up McGwire with a 3-year, $28.5 million contract. His MLB best 58 home runs were the most since Roger Maris set the single-season record with 61 in 1961. McGwire became the 2nd player, after Babe Ruth, to hit 50 or more big flies 2 years in a row. Combined, Mark's .274 average, 123 RBIs, 101 walks, and 170 OPS+ earned him MVP votes. McGwire was the recipient of the inaugural Marvin Miller Man of the Year, an award recognizing outstanding on-field success and off-field community contributions. In 1998, Mark McGwire took his game to the next level. His popularity soared as fans gathered in droves to spectate batting practice, reminiscent of the Home Run Derby. Media personnel swarmed him before and after games. To capitalize on a golden marketing opportunity, the Cardinals partnered with McDonald's to create Big Mac Land. Situated beyond the left field wall at Busch Stadium, this iconic section became a staple of the ballpark. On March 31st, opening day, McGwire's landmark season started with a grand slam, propelling them to a 6-0 win over the Dodgers. His 6-game home run streak that began on September 27, 1997 and ended on April 4, 1998 contained 7 home runs and 17 RBIs. On April 14th, he went 3 for 3 with 3 home runs and 2 walks. On May 8th, Mark reached 400 career home runs in record time, followed by a titanic blast estimated at a Busch Stadium record 545 feet on May 16th. On May 19th, he crushed 3 more big flies, and on May 22nd, he entered Big Mac Land for the first time. Recognized as Player of the Month in September of '97, April, and May of '98, McGwire became the first NL player to win this honor in 3 consecutive months. In the first half, Mark hit 37 homers and made his 10th All-Star team. The exhilarating home run chase to break Roger Maris's single-season record ensued during the summer. It initially featured McGwire, the Cubs' Sammy Sosa, and the Mariners' Ken Griffey Jr. By the end of July, McGwire had 45, Sosa 42, and Griffey Jr. 41. August is when Griffey Jr. fell off the pace, hitting just 6 homers. After the players' strike in 1994 left baseball with a black eye, McGwire and Sosa were 2 key figures in restoring fans' faith in the game. It felt like at any given time, Big Mac or Slam and Sammy could deposit a ball into the seats, as proven by the 21 times they both homered on the same day in '98. Making it all the more entertaining was that they both played for rival teams in the NL Central. On August 19th, in a Cardinals-Cubs matchup, Sosa went yard and McGwire responded with a 2-homer game to reclaim the lead. On August 22nd, androstenedione, a then MLB legal supplement believed to increase testosterone, was discovered in McGwire's locker. His extensive regimen also included creatine and weightlifting. Anabolic steroids that bulked up his physique were not public knowledge at the time. The reaction fizzled quickly, with fans more concerned about McGwire and Sosa's pursuit of history. A week later, McGwire was ejected from the game in the first inning for arguing a called third strike, costing him valuable home run opportunities. The next day, Mark redeemed himself by going deep to retake the lead. He began September with consecutive 2-homer games, and on the 5th, McGwire hit number 60 to match Babe Ruth. 2 days later, the stage was set, a Cardinals-Cubs matchup for the final time of the season. On September 7th, McGwire and Sosa entered the game with 60 and 58 home runs respectively. In the first inning, Mark tied Roger Maris with home run number 61. The next day, in front of the home fans, Mark drilled a line drive for his 62nd home run, setting the single-season record. With the stadium erupting in cheers, the game was put on hold, and McGwire was able to soak in the experience. From right field, Sosa made his way to congratulate him, a gesture that showed their respect for one another. Mark went into the stands to thank Roger Maris's children for their support. St. Louis won 6-3, and the Cardinals grounds crew member who retrieved the historic baseball presented it to McGwire during a post-game ceremony. Attention then shifted to who would end the year with the home run lead. A week later, Sosa caught up to McGwire, and through September 24th, they were tied at 65. On September 25th, Sammy hit his 66th home run to take the lead, but 45 minutes later, Mark matched him. McGwire surged in the last 2 games with consecutive 2-homer displays, reaching 70 home runs in his final at-bat. Meanwhile, Sosa closed the season with 3 homerless games, cementing Mark as the home run king. The record lasted only 3 years, as Barry Bonds hit 73 in 2001. In 1998, McGwire led MLB in home runs, walks, on-base, slugging, OPS, OPS+, and offensive WAR. His .299 average, .470 on-base percentage, 70 dingers, 147 RBIs, and .216 OPS+ were mind-boggling. Mark's 7.27 at-bats per home run hold the second highest position ever, only behind 2001 Barry Bonds. McGwire won his 3rd Silver Slugger and finished runner-up to Sammy Sosa in NL MVP voting, a result largely influenced by team performance. The Cardinals missed the playoffs while the Cubs secured a wildcard spot, ultimately making a first-round exit. In 1999, Mark made his 11th All-Star team and put on a show in the Home Run Derby, launching 13 home runs in the first round and 16 in total. McGwire tied Albert Belle's MLB record for the most homers in July with 16. He was named Player of the Month. On August 5th, Mark joined the 500 home run club, hitting 2 dingers that night and setting a record for the fewest at-bats to reach the milestone. Currently, there are just 28 players on this exclusive list. McGwire finished the year with 65 home runs, 147 RBIs, a 177 OPS+, and 21 intentional walks, all league-leading totals. From 1996 to 1999, Mark led baseball in home runs, hitting 245 collectively, the most in a 4-year window all time. He and Sammy Sosa stand alone with 4 consecutive 50-homer seasons, with Babe Ruth being the only other player to achieve 50 homers 4 times in his career. Mark did not receive a Silver Slugger. However, he placed 5th in NL MVP voting and was distinguished as a member of the All-Century team. In 2000, while back and knee injuries limited him to just 89 games, McGwire was an All-Star for the 12th time. The Cardinals won the NL Central crown, and in a pinch-hitting role, McGwire homered in their Division Series sweep against the Braves. In the NLCS, they lost 4 of 5 games to the Mets, ending their season. In 2001, McGwire was plagued by a bad right knee in an unusual year. In 97 games, he hit 29 home runs, representing more than half of his 56 total hits. He was on pace to approach 50 home runs despite a meager 187 batting average. The Cardinals had an abbreviated playoff run as a wildcard team, falling in the NLDS to the eventual World Series winning Diamondbacks. McGwire had signed a 2-year extension before the 2001 season, but decided to forego it and announced his retirement at 38 years old. For his career, McGwire amassed 62.1 WAR, batted .263, mashed 583 homers, drove in 1,414 runs, and posted a .163 OPS+. His resume includes 12 All-Star appearances, Rookie of the Year, a Gold Glove, and 3 Silver Sluggers. McGwire won the 1989 World Series with the Athletics and was the 1992 Home Run Derby champ. All-time, McGwire ranks 11th in home runs and is MLB's leader with a career average of 10.61 at-bats per home run. In February of 2005, Jose Canseco published Juiced, a book revealing his own experiences with performance-enhancing drugs and outing other players he knew were taking steroids, including Mark McGwire. In March, at a congressional hearing, McGwire was criticized after avoiding direct questions about his steroid use. In 2007, Mark's first year of Hall of Fame eligibility, he received just 23.5% of the votes, peaking at 23.7% over 10 years. In 2010, McGwire finally admitted to using steroids and human growth hormone on and off for a decade, altering perceptions of his accomplishments. HGH aids in muscle growth and promotes recovery from injury, but its definitive effects on the game are widely debated. MLB banned HGH in 2005, with the first suspension issued in 2011. As of 2024, McGwire has yet to be enshrined in Cooperstown. There is still an ongoing argument over whether PED users deserve recognition for their achievements. In a museum where some questionable players have been rewarded, many of the peak steroid-era greats have been excluded in absence of prior drug testing. Post-retirement, McGwire has held coaching roles with the Cardinals, Dodgers, and Padres. St. Louis won the 2011 World Series while he served as their hitting coach. In 2017, Mark gained entry into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and in 2019 to the Athletics Hall of Fame. From prodigious blast to the forearm bash, Mark McGwire was emblematic of baseball's revival in the late 1990s. The 1998 home run chase was a worldwide phenomenon, reigniting the sport's popularity. Yet, McGwire's legacy will forever be shrouded in controversy, casting doubt on his Cooperstown candidacy. For better or worse, the evolving narrative towards steroid users could one day change the landscape of the Hall of Fame. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts in the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.